How are you? How you doing? Welcome to Be So Light. Yeah, I'm checking my clock. Right on time. All right. I got a good one for you. And this is going to show you how strong your words are. And even if you're thinking it, how quick you can bring it into your reality. So this morning, I went to bed at 8:30 last night. I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. Slept so good. Felt so good to get some sleep. I felt, oh, yeah. I love it. Didn't want to get out of bed. So I'm kind of just like doing my thing, just laying there. I don't want to open the door yet because Kitty would have been like, meow, you get up and feed me now. Telling me what to do. She's so bossy. God. She's like, she thinks she owns me or something. Like, I own you, human. You get up and feed me now. So she's so adorable. I love her. So anyway, I'm just kind of like doing my thing, and I'm enjoying the quietness. I'm enjoying just this feels so good. I'm just enjoying it, the moment. And I start having this connection thing going on. I start seeing those flame letters. So I'm like, okay. I do my head like this, and it goes away. So I said, that's really interesting. I like those flame letters. So I go on my phone, I'm scrolling through YouTube, and I come across this guy. What the hell is his name? Hold on, I gotta bring it up here because I can't do this on my phone. I'm terrible with names. I really am. Trust me, I really am. I really am. Let me see. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's disgusting. Dragon Magic Ruby. Dragon Magic Ruby. So he had this little thing that he was talking about the sun, the magic of the sun. He was talking about the sun. He was talking about the primordial suns and the galactic suns. And I said, wow, that's really cool. So it's like the first part of the video is really good. It has good information. But then somehow in a way, as it starts to get into getting close to the end of it, it starts losing like music sound or something freezing. I'm not sure. But the primordial suns and the galactic suns. I said, well, that makes a lot of sense now. So I'm just kind of doing that, and then I go into this other one that he has, and it's a facial, it's not a facial, it's a meditation. It's a meditation. And it's the meditation on the God names. And I was like, huh. So you have like 7, the magical names of Creator. That's what it's called. It's called the magical names of Creator. So what you do is meditational. It comes up and it has the name in pronunciation, phonetics, but next to it, it has the flame letters. And I sit straight up and I'm like, oh, it's got the flame letters. And as soon as I say that, I start getting chills all over me. And I'm like, oh. So I went ahead and I did it the first time, and then I did it the second time. And I was like, that feels very cool. That feels very familiar to me. I'm feeling that. So I'm just kind of cruising through that because then I get a notification that Conscious Juice is coming on. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and pay attention. So I'm going to listen to Conscious Juice. So I'm listening, do my thing. I get a call from my friend, and my friend tells me I can't get on the Facebook page. I can't find the spiral body class. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't find the spiral? You're in the class. She goes, no, I can't find it. Well, because I kind of deleted her by mistake. And I apologized to her. I said, I'm so sorry. I thought you were like a fakey or some kind of thing trying to get in. And I'm so sorry. And she goes, oh my God. And I explained, we started laughing about it. So we started talking about food and stuff. And towards the end, and I was like, yeah, I'm craving again. I want another fish and chips. I want another one. It was so good. It was just so good. So I finally, after doing some clients, I was going through the client thing, and I was doing this stuff and seeing how each one of the clients were doing. And I said, okay, I'm not going to do too much of that. I don't need to be standing a lot on my leg. And my leg was starting to give me some problems. It was starting to hurt, starting to feel weird. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had like a sports injury, like a dislocation or something, but when you dislocate, there's always that afterwards swelling. So I was getting that. And I'm like, God, I didn't dislocate it, but I hit the hell out of it right at the top of that fibia, fibia area. And I'm like, it just hurts. So I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm going to go ahead and order another fish and chip. But then my eyes started wandering. And I started thinking about how I would like to have a Belgian waffle. Just a waffle. Just a waffle. But I'm not going to put syrup on it. I like to put honey on it. I said it'd be kind of cool to kind of cut it and put a little butter and syrup on Belgian waffle. And then I started looking and said, and I'm thinking, God, it'd be really nice I could have that. And then I said, no, I don't think that's a good idea. I'll just get the fish and chips. Okay. So I ordered the fish and chips. Same thing that I ordered yesterday. And I'm like, And it arrives. And I open it up. It was in a different container. It's like, oh, I like this thing. This nice. And it was super hot. I said, oh my God, what did they do? Did they just get this out of the fryer? It's like super hot. I mean, it was hot. Like, I touched it, burned my fingers. I was like, wow, this is hot. Fries were hot. Everything was hot. It was perfect. But then, because I ordered the same thing that I had yesterday, which was the fish and chips and a slice of pumpkin pie. So I went ahead and ordered the same thing, excluding the thoughts of getting a Belgian waffle. Now, because, don't trip, I've been eating so much cabbage, I started to think the cabbage and I'm becoming more copper. So I needed to take a break. So I look into the bag and I'm wondering, what's the extra bag stuff? Now, I said, you guys wouldn't believe me if I didn't bring it on here and show you. Because I haven't had my pie yet. Okay? Haven't eaten the pie yet. That's my pumpkin pie. Wish it was sweet potato pie. I wouldn't be showing it to you at all. That'd be over with. It'd be already done. All right. Anyway, I digress. Okay. So, are you ready? So in the bag, I have honey. and butter. Oh, yeah. More honey. And butter. But no waffle. So I started laughing. I said, oh my God, I got goosebumps all over me. So I started saying, damn. Even in our thoughts, we're like this. It's crazy. And all I was doing was thinking about it. And I said, that would be kind of cool if I had a Belgian waffle. But I wouldn't put syrup on it. I put the honey and the butter. But I didn't order it. I didn't even like click it in the thing and delete it out. I didn't even do that. I looked at it and I said, no, please, just do the pumpkin pie, do the break like you had yesterday. Just do same order. But to get that honey and butter in my bag was like, what do I do? And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I just started laughing. I said, this is just too funny. I can't believe that. That's funny. I love it. Give me more of that. I love that. So it's kind of like, how did that end up in the bag? That shouldn't have even been put in there with an order of fish and chips. Why would you put honey and butter in there? So I said, you guys wouldn't believe me. So I made sure, keep that and show it to you. And so that you would see it. So you wouldn't think, oh, she's just pulling my leg. No, honey. I don't have to be making up nothing on here. It just happens all natural. I just could not believe it. Honey and butter. And 2 different types of honey in each bag. As though whoever is my handler in the cosmic realm that's watching over me, that heard everything I was thinking in my mind, thought it would be kind of cosmic funny to send me 2 bags with 2 different honeys. Cosmic funnies with 2 different bags of cosmic honey. So I was just like, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's happening pretty fast. So with that being said, lovelies, let's step into the kin now. I got a message from the sibyls, and I said, okay, let's do that. Let's walk into the sibyls. So I pulled 2 cards of a message that's for us to hear, what they want to say. And I think it's really kind of, come on, interesting. Okay, hold on. This is wanting to be crazy. Come on, what are you doing? Come on. This is the only bad thing about working with the PDF file of the calendar, because if it goes all the way up to the top, you got to guide it back down to your marker spot where you were. Sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. So we're on day 8. This is July 15th, Tuesday. We have this portal, and it's the red solar skywalker. I pulse in order to explore, realizing wakefulness. I seal the output of space with the solar tone of intention. I am guided by the power of universal water. Water. I am galactic activation portal. Enter me. The color is red. The planet is Mars. The chakra is the solar plexus. The earth family is signal. So, as I was working on this today and sitting and doing all my things and talking to my friend on the phone and working on things, I get this message and it says you have to go deeper into the calendar for people because people are starting to get kind of interested in how you really read the chart, how you really look at it, and da-da-da-da. There's some that are thinking about they want to go a little further. And I said, oh, okay. I said, how do you want me to do that? I said, I have to order the new one for the laptop, and then I was going to get it in print. They want $29. So by the time they print it, you pay tax on it. It comes at 30 something. I want to say 32, 31, $34 something. It was something like that. They print on demand. So you can get the catalog and the almanac one in print. Or you can get the PDF one for your computer, which is $20. So I was going to get it in print. Then I said, you know what? Screw it. I'll just get it in on my laptop and I'll just put it. So if power goes out or what, you're not going to lose it because it goes right on your desktop and you can still have access to your calendar. You just, if the internet goes down or something, just saying hypothetically, if that's what you're thinking. So what I wanted to make is show you how this works with our calendar. And I'm going to see if I can turn it so you can see this. So, oh my gosh. All right. So this is what it looks like on your laptop when you have it. It opens up like this, okay? So you have these other codes that you read, all these different kind of codes. This is how you know that we have a rune right here. This is how you know we have waste spell because it's marked out showing the traveling of how the portal energy is, okay? So this is your page on what you're working on, what you're looking into. And everything on your page, it has all the different symbols. So it has your rune, it has your I Ching, it has the different symbols underneath, like Skywalker Prophecy has a symbol of that. So you go to the different pages in the index and you look up those codes because it takes you into the coding of that day of what you're doing, what you're reading into. So, hold on, let me get this. Okay, so I went ahead and wrote down today's coding that we have the harmonic 29 crystal output, and we have the other symbols that are all about bringing in the message of that day. Okay, I am a part of the Truth Clan. It'll show you what clan that you're a part of. So I belong to the Truth Clan with my symbol. Now, if you haven't figured out what your signature is, what I mean by that is figuring out which one of these symbols you are. Are you this? Are you that? Are you this? The only way you find out is if you go to 13moon.com and do the birthday decoder. And the birthday decoder will show you what your signature is, what your kin is, so that you can actually find out, okay, what's my signature? Oh, I'm a yellow solar, because it changes. So see, in the back you have all the layouts of all the info here, but it'll also tell you in bigger what the symbol is and what each one of these symbols follows and what they present. It's decoding yourself, basically. That's what you're doing. So, and it actually will kick up things of certain things that you feel connected to, and you're kind of like trying to figure out, oh wow, okay, I am connected to that. Oh wow, that showed up for me. So it'll kick that up and it'll show you that. So today's message is direct experience is indescribable. Direct experience is indescribable. So the rune that's on here, you can go through and take a look at the rune in your rune book and go by that one because it's once again the warrior. Then you can also go into it and look up your rune on your own rune code. That's a part of the PDF file for this calendar. So like when you look up the harmonics, because it's number 29, it'll give a little extra, and it says harmonic crystal output, express intelligence of cooperation. So now when you look at going into that symbol, it'll come up with, I'm getting to that page, warrior runes, all those little symbols, alpha. Here we go. So the runes are considered the elders. Okay, they're considered to be known as the elders. So this is the section, clear up, for your runes. It's going to show you what all the runes are under the galactic calendar. Okay, so we have the one that's the warrior that points straight up. So it's that symbol of the warrior. This one. Okay, so under that, it's going to come out and it's going to say, okay, you find a code, it's a day 19, and it says, this is the Tawaz, is the power of making scepter that transforms the time and space. So that symbol is going to symbolize the scepter energy, changing time and space. So that's the one that's on underneath the American plate. They're set up in plates. They have an African, an Afro-Eurasian plate, then they have a Pacific plate, and then an American plate, and then an Atlantic plate. So they're broken up according to the plates that are according to the first week, second week, third week, fourth week. Okay. So that's how you read the runes. Then it drops you down into the 64 UR runes and codons. And the codons are the I Ching. That breaks down even further what other energies are going on in that day. So if we have an I Ching of number 29, it'll show you here what that looks like. Okay, so it'll give you the code and the codons of the I Ching to look up. And it specifically will coincide with what is going on with this energy cycle. So it's under that heart and moon crystal. So you just pull that up, expand it open. And it will give you space flows as cosmic awareness. Now that makes a lot of sense what happened, how come I ended up with that honey and the butter, and 2 different honeys and butter in the bag with my order. But I changed my mind about having the Belgian waffle. I don't know, it's just craving it. Have you ever just had that? You just crave something, you just want to have it. Just had a craving. I haven't had a Belgian waffle in when? I was like, God, I haven't had a Belgian waffle in such a long time. I'd like to have one of those. I just changed my mind. I'll just stick with the fish and chip. Okay, so that's how this is set up. So a lot of times when I'm on here, it's because I'm going through it and looking. So when we start diving a little deeper on how this is set up, it gives you the info. So I said, well, let me show you why I like galactic calendar, because this is how we travel through it. There's this like a spiral effect that creates what we're doing when we're working with those portals on those each days. So like it'll start off establish base action. So now you got to establish an action. You have to establish a base action. And the first thing that happens is magnet gate. Identify the purpose. So that's going to give you that 1 code that represents that. Your next one is going to be lunar chamber. Identify the challenge. The next one is electric chamber. Identify the service. The next one is self-existing chamber. Identify the form. Okay. Overtone tower. Take command. Can you believe that? That word right there. Take command. So you already just did establish base of action. These guys right here established that. So now you're hitting another point here that's going to take you here before you go up here. So this one is going to be extend rhythm of action. So rhythmic chamber, command equality. Resonant chamber, command attunement. Galactic chamber, command integrity. There. Okay. Then it goes into solar tower. Formulation action. So now this one is going to change because you went from extend the rhythm. Now you're going into the action energy. And this is all about convert the action. So now the energy is going to go into what is the conversion of the action. So the solar tower is going to take you into the formulation action. Then the planetary chamber is going to be the manifest challenge. Then the spectral chamber is going to bring in the liberation of service. Then the crystal chamber brings in the cooperation of form. And the last one, once you hit that last one of the crystal, it's got to move the information of what you're creating and transform it. So it's going to transport it into the cosmic gate. And that is the one where the magic takes flight. So each time when we're doing those 10 days and moving through, and even through the calendar, because this is the 13-month cycle, it shows these portals of how they're moving. But when we're doing the wave spell ones, you're moving into these according to the days, depending on which one of these drops off and is starting off at a certain point, going through a cycle. Okay, so just knowing how this flows and what it's creating is the spiral. You're creating that energy within the spiral itself. So on the back, when we talk about these dots, these are called tones. Each tone represents an energy. So tone 1 is going to be that purpose. What is my goal? Okay, gives you the question, what is my goal? The second tone is going to be, what are the obstacles? What's blocking me? Third tone is going to be, How can the goal be attained? Fourth one's going to say, what is the form of the action? Your fifth tone is going to be take command, gather resources. Okay. Tone 6 is take equality, administer, challenge. Tone 7 is command, attunement, attune service to action. Tone 8 is command integrity, action attains form. Tone 9 is formalizing action set into motion. So you're taking action and now you're moving into the motion of what you're creating. Then you move into manifest, challenge, action, and challenge met. Liberation of service, action dissolves service. Then tone 12 is the cooperation of the form, round table meets, past actions formulate, future action prepared. So having a meeting with the divine, talking about what it is you're creating, and now implementing all of that and giving the future outtake. The last tone says, take magic flight, the magnetic return. So the magnet return. So that is the whole function of what we're doing when we're in this wave cycle. Okay? So I thought that was interesting. He wanted me to make it out for you and show you that. So now I bring you to the next thing. You know how this is going to end on Thursday the 17th. This is the last one for this calendar. We're going to have 1 week, then we flow into the new one. Okay? So 1 week, we jump into the new calendar that will start on July 26th. And this is going to be Magnetic Moon of Purpose. Unify, attract, and purpose. So we start that new cycle again. Okay? So the totem is going to be a bat, Makatari. In Taino, the bat is represented by Makatari. So, with this, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have 4 weeks of a break from the medicine that we did with this portal that we're still in for another 2 more days. And then we're done. So we'll have a 4-week break. Then, come August 17th, interesting, huh? We finish out on the 17th, and 4 weeks from now, on August the 17th, we're going to start another 10-day cycle. So this 10-day cycle is going to start on August 17th, and that's going to take us into, August 17th, and that'll take us into the August 26th is where it will end. And we'll be in that second moon cycle, the lunar second moon cycle. Okay? So that'll give us another week. But in between that, after we complete those 10 days, we're going to have another kind of like spread out portal activation days in between that time. Okay? As we're moving into September, and Scorpio is going to be the one for that. So this is pretty. I have to show this one. That's so cool. I like that. Okay. So I really like working with these calendars. I find them to be just on point with a lot of things that we're doing and how it lines up. So with that part being said, let's jump into, we talked about the tone and how this energy is the flow of the magic of the self, of the waters. Okay, a lot of water moving on our planet right now. A lot of water. And you know what? Conscious Juice said it best. And there was someone else that said the same thing about the waters. If you look at the areas that are really getting hit with a lot of flooding waters, what kind of energy did they carry? Were they nice to people? Were they having some not so nice moments with people? I don't know, like judging them color-wise and stuff. There's a reason why that's happening in such a intense way. And it's so weird because I was laying here in bed and everything before I got online really looking at anything, and I was just laying here having a conversation with the divine, and I said, wow, I said it just like this. The elementals are not playing. They are coming down and doing this. So I want you to imagine this for a second. How these energy of these beings were going in and tearing up everything just so they wouldn't have to give it over to us. Okay? It's like, well, if we can't have it, you can't have it. That kind of attitude. So the elementals are saying, really? Then how about this? You can't have it at all. None of it right now. So they're coming in with force. And if you really watch some of these pictures that people are posting, this is another reason why they want to revamp TikTok, but control it. And they want to keep a closer eye on who's getting what information, because they know that TikTok is putting information out there, just like Telegram was doing it before it got all infiltrated and got all twisted up and you couldn't do anything, couldn't really see or find stuff, because they don't want people to know. They don't want the whole thing to come undone. The more people know about stuff, the more that their whole little plan just starts coming undone. So hats off to the TikTok agents who are getting that information out as quick as they get it, so that it's really giving us time to get that information. Because every time when we get information, it wakes us up that much more. It takes us out of that sleeping slumber. So I'm just like, hats off to you. Glad you're doing what you're doing. There's a group of people that came just to do that for this time right now. Okay? Those specific star being human beings are doing it for that reason right now, for this, in this moment. So I'm laying there having this conversation, and I said, it's almost as though the elementals are saying, you can't have it either, and we're going to take it away from you. And then as soon as I heard that, I saw this whole history line of how certain people were invaded, homes were burned down or invaded or taken from them, businesses were taken from them, and others came into those areas and took over, infiltrated them. So what happens when the earth is doing what it's doing, and remember this one thing, if anything, Mother does not forget. She remembers everything. She remembers everything. She remembers it all. She remembers what happened, when, where, and why. She remembers who it happened to, when, where, and why. This is that energy that's coming through. And if you pay attention to some of these TikTok pictures, you can see these spirits. And one of them put chills up my spine, because Conscious just showed this one he recently just put up, where this big old cloud was forming, and in the cloud, he was talking. He said, "Man, I can see all kind of faces in the cloud." But I literally saw like the head of a buffalo come through that cloud and was rolling through, and then the face switched into an ancestor. I felt like lost my cookie dough, and I was like, oh, geez. Because it was like watching these spirits form in those clouds, and they look and they're showing you, we are here. They are alive. And I'm not the only one that's feeling this. There are others of us that are saying the same thing. These beings are alive. And now it makes a lot of sense with some of the clouds that I saw not too long ago. When the clouds were forming, they were big, fluffy clouds. And I said, wow, those used to be the clouds I used to see when I was a little girl. These big, fluffy clouds. They look so surreal, these big, fluffy clouds. So as he was going on and he was talking and doing his thing, and I had already had my conversation with Creator, he says the same exact thing that I was saying to Creator about the elementals, about the faces, and about why this is happening on the planet, and how this is a cleansing time. The stuff is getting cleansed. Wherever heavy energy and bad things have happened, that's getting cleansed. And Texas is getting hit hard. And it's known that Texas is not a very nice place. It's not very nice, color-wise. Not very nice out there. And it's getting hit really hard. So really, when we sit back and look at what's happening and how these spirit beings are moving through the elements and kicking out energy and pushing, this is crazy. So here's another point where people have talked about the thunder. Now, I remember when I was growing up back in the day, when a thunderstorm would come in, you would get that crackle, 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 and you wait. Okay. Then a strike, a lightning. Okay. Boom. Then you get another crackle, crackle, crackle. And then strike. And I'm like, oh, okay. So thunderstorm. And let me tell you, Georgia has the best thunderstorms, and Puerto Rico has the best thunderstorms. And if you are a grid walker, when you go to certain places, a rainstorm will come and follow you, because it's going to cleanse, because you're coming there. And every single time when I go to Puerto Rico, for some reason, as soon as I get off that plane, it starts to rain and thunder and lightning and all kinds of stuff. If I go and do any medicine on that island, and I'm going to do some kind of healing work on the island, a storm will show up and cleanse, and then it will leave. So if you're a grid walker, you bring the storms of cleansing wherever you're going. Rain just show up. And people used to always laugh when I would come to Oklahoma getting ready to do Sundance, and it'll start raining, and then here I come walking on the path. Well, that's why it's raining. Look who's coming up the path. Oh, she's got that rain skirt on. Tell her to take that off. She's making it rain. I had a skirt. So I would be like, wow, that rain is coming in. So this rain and the way it's coming up is really hitting the planet in such a way of cleansing. And it's happening, and we're just watching it all unfold. And yeah, it's sad on some parts of, some people don't make it through this what's happening. And but then again, I have to sit back and look also that mother is not okay with how some people have been treated on this planet. So karma's a bitch when it has to come back around. And this is what they mean by what goes around comes around. This is what they mean by whatever seeds you plant, whatever you sow, you shall reap. This is what that means. And this is why some people are going to be standing there saying, wow, my neighbor's home just got totally wrecked and taken apart, but mine didn't get touched. So the ancestors that are all coming on here, not just mine, but other ancestors are coming on here cleansing. And you can see them in the storms. And I'm telling you, that one cloud video he showed, I was just like, that was a flipping buffalo that was coming through that cloud. You can see his face, his mouth open, saw the horns. I'm like, that's a buffalo, a big buffalo. And I was just like, wow, look at this. So just to kind of bring this whole thing together, our minds, our words, everything that we're saying is being captured in this new frequency that's around us. Because how do you explain the butter and honey being put in my bag that I would have had on a waffle, Belgian waffle, but I changed my mind about it? Didn't check it off on the square and deduct it. No, I just put my fish and chip in my pie and that was it. It's the only thing I was craving today to eat. Been drinking water and all that stuff, but I'm only craving that. So, how do you explain that? Was there another me behind the counter? Was there some kind of energy split of myself somewhere else saying, oh, she's going to order that. Make sure she has all those things in there. Did that one get the whole order? Did that one take off with it and get that? Makes you wonder, huh? How do you explain that? It didn't happen yesterday. There was no butter and honey in my bag yesterday. That's how fast your thoughts are manifesting in your reality. And that's why I said we could have this shit done and over with if all of us would have got our act together and really stepped into our power and stepped into our divine Heka and speak it into fruition. Speak it into our realities. We could have been over this. But because of our sleep, these xenomorphs are just running all over the place, doing their stuff. It makes you really think about that last part in the movie of Aliens and Predator, where you see the part, this is the one with the girl, and she has to do the fight with the big predator guy. But you see the part where the predators, how they run up on top of the pyramid and all the aliens are coming up and they said there's too many of them. They've taken over this whole thing, and he opens up his arm and he has to set that explosion to get rid of all of them because they have infiltrated everything. And that's what's happening. Things have been so infiltrated. We have to get rid of the pest. The pests have to go. So yeah, this is that time. We're gonna be seeing a lot of stuff, and it's not gonna be pretty. but it's necessary because everywhere they go, they infiltrate those planets and enslave everybody. And we're done. So the more you step into the power of who you are, the more we speed things up to hurry up and get to that point where we need to be. Because it's not okay that certain groups are already ahead of the game in the new technology, in the new of everything, and we're still in the old timeline trying to get caught up because of what has happened. So, with that being said, yeah, buckle up. It's going to be one hell of a ride. Because once we get this done, then we can step into what we're supposed to be living like. Step back into that real memory of what home used to be like. Because it sure to hell wasn't all this craziness that we've been through. How do you justify that it's okay for this person to have their house, but this one doesn't get to have a house? They have to live on the street. Everybody should have a place to live. Everybody should have clean food. Now, what is this bull crap that Putin has some kind of, I don't know, some kind of video or evidence or something somebody was talking about? And I said, you know what? Until I see proof of something, I just take it as hearsay. And I'm saying like this, why would you wait that long to bring the evidence out? Saying I have evidence and proof that the American people are not eating what they think they're eating. It's much worse than that. Maybe that's why they're not building any new cemeteries. They wouldn't have to if they found other ways. It's like a dream. It's worse than, oh God, what is that movie called? Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like Freddy Krueger chasing down all the stuff, and we're all in this dream trying to get away from Freddy Krueger because he is just after all of us in this dream, and we got to hurry up and wake up because in the nightmare it's not okay. It's got to come to an end. It's ridiculous. Pretty much that's what it's like. So let's talk now about it. And I already did my apologies for deleting my friend by accident out of the spirit. the spiral body group. Oh my gosh. I just hit this button. I took her out because I thought it was somebody else, and she was having problems trying to get in the group. And I said, well, wait a minute, what is your name? And she tells me, and I go, oh my God. So then I sat there and I said, you know, I can just see our spirit guides looking at this scenario and wondering what the test will be if they would handle it in a good way. So I said, can you imagine what our spirit guides are thinking right now? They probably wanted to see if we're going to pass this test, if we were going to act out, if we're going to have ego all involved. And I said, I bet you some money. Archangel Michael, Raphael, and then some of the ancestors were sitting in the spirit theater, and they were sitting there saying, has Priestess McCullough found out yet that she deleted her friend out of the spiral group? And Michael's probably saying, nope, she's finding out right now. And then the others come in and say, has it happened yet? Are we going to hear a lot of thunder? Are they going to be in their ego? And then the elder grandmothers are sitting back saying, no. This is going to turn out quite nice. They all have learned their lessons. They're going to walk through this with grace. There will be an apology, and things will flow correctly. And then Michael and all the rest of them are sitting there saying, "Can you pass me the popcorn? This should be really good. Let's see how good they've learned. Let's see how good they can just really just move into that." And they're probably sitting there saying, "Okay, listen. Okay, she said, okay, she apologized. Okay, that's good. Okay, her friend accepted it. Okay, that's good. That's good. Wow, they're learning really good. Can you have some more of that popcorn?" You're saying, "Yes, this is really good." And then they're sitting, and the elders are like, okay, leaning in. And then they all go back, "Oh, look at that. They really learned." They have their moments watching us. Let me tell you. And I told her, I said, they're watching us right now. They want to see how this is going to turn out. And I guarantee you they were like, "Oh, look at that. How beautiful is that? Oh, it's so good. They're learning. Yay." That's the best movie yet. The other one, it sucks because it just keeps going on. Oh, yeah, political, So, I love you, my friend. My apologies. So sorry. Okay, so the sibyls, that's how you handle that. You make a mistake on something, you own it, and you correct it, and then you apologize. When you apologize, it means you take full accountability for what happened, versus "I'm sorry." Kind of drops off a little bit. "I'm sorry. I apologize." Goes like this. So when you're correcting something, you apologize for it, versus "I'm sorry." Because the sorry usually doesn't really hit it. "I'm sorry about that." Don't you get that when you go into a grocery store and they make an error and you think, "I'm so sorry about that. Oh, I'm sorry, we're out for that. Oh, I'm so sorry." All right, so the message that I got from the two cards, the first one is synthesis. That word right there. My synthesis. Okay, parts do not make the whole. The whole is made of parts. This phoenix, with the head of a ram, body of a lion, and the legs of the bull, and the wings of an eagle, represents creativity and physical, intellectual, and spiritual power. The looped cross is the ancient Kemetic symbol of life, the Ankh. So the Ankh is in there. The Ankh. Where am I Ankh today too? So this one is talking about decide to put together every element of what you know regarding this issue. Include all facts, hunches, and insight. Include nothing. Take action as soon as the picture comes into focus. As soon as the picture comes into focus. So being clear in our thoughts. Hence the word, being clear in your thoughts. Being clear in what you're saying. Being clear in your thoughts. Being clear so when you take action. So this is underneath the action card. The blue is representing the action. It's a cooling color. So any of the cards that have the blue in it, this is considered action energy. Okay, the next one that goes with it is also an action card. And this one is, I want to say it, the militarism strategy. The militarism strategy. It says admitting how far you are willing to go and how much you are willing to sacrifice should precede all plans. Okay, the cat represents poise and the mouse represents determination. So you got this cat up here and the mouse. So right away when you see cat and the mouse, you're thinking, oh, it's this cat and mouse game that we have to constantly keep our eyes open in dealing with this cat and mouse game. So the meaning of this, it steps us into It's like an ancient god of war. It's worshipped by these words I cannot say. I'm going to butcher these all together. So I'm going to drop down into the middle because it is about the ruins of the temple of Naga, and the Naga means the serpent queen in Kemetic language. So first decide that you will find a way to get what you want. Brainstorm ideals and ask for advice from others who have succeeded at what you're trying to accomplish. So one of the things that's happening right now is people want to get what they are looking for. They are desiring to pull that in. So whatever it's taking to pull in what they're looking for is what they're cultivating and attracting to pull that in with determination. There's no more of this cat and mouse game that people are playing into. They want to pull this in so that they can get what they desire. So when I was really looking at these and sitting there, I said, okay, we got life force energy, we have that transformational and the cat and mouse and strategy. And that's all playing out right now with the strategy of everything, how it's coming forward so that we can move, make changes, how things are being exposed. So I know it's just a game that just keeps on going. So let's step into the card read of now. And the ones I'm using, I'm just going to go ahead and do the secret darkness, secret language of darkness, secret language of light, the vision of the soul contract, and the shamanic star wisdom oracle. So let's just step into that. Yes, I got a lot of good sleep last night and a lot of dreaming, good dreams. A lot of good dreams. I was like, wow. Slept so good. Okay, I'm mixing it up. Yeah, I'm running a little behind schedule today because I was doing my, I had a few clients to put into the system and to get them started in some spiral light and really kind of see how everyone's doing. Okay, visions of the soul. I like these. Meditation and portal cards. Two more days and we're done. Done. Then you can take a break. But Spiral Body will keep on going because that's a 30-day program. Okay, soul contract. Ooh, hey, what are you doing? All right. All right, let's take a look-see. First one, the wounded child, number 31. Healing trauma makes the world feel safer. The wounded child. Yes. Hurt people hurt other people. There you go. I love the colors on these cards. What matches with that is 40 colors of the heart. Colors. Love that. So wounded child moving and working into that heart. And that's a number 40. We look at now the solar star chakra, number 11. Stepping into that. Then we look into Stargate. We got Stargate again. Wow. We are stepping into Stargate energy again. We had this earlier. And now the contract, gateway awakening. A new path is unfolding. Step through this gateway to expand your consciousness and awaken to the higher truth. Spiritual awareness, new horizon, and conscious elevations. Look at that gateway. Feels like that. All right, lovelies. I gave you your info. I have to get off my feet and ice some more because I think that's probably what did it. You know how it is. You start feeling a little bit, oh, I think I should do a little bit more. I feel it. And then all of a sudden the body says, did you really think it was going to be that easy? I was just going to let you stand here and act as though it never happened. Let me remind you. Pain. Okay, now you're going to go sit down and get off of it and rest it. So I'm like, okay, all right. Thought I was getting there. Obviously not. Because I kind of start looking at it and I'm like, okay, I don't see anything bruising out. I don't see any colors, but it's in there and it hurts to touch it now because it's like sensitive. And I said, yeah, fluid stuff. All right, lovelies. I hope you enjoy your day. I know this was pretty straightforward and just delivered a message, but keep your eyes open. Because the things that are happening in the sky, oh, that's what I was saying about the clouds. The clouds, the message I got when people hear this thunder and they say it's a thunder like I've never heard before. And then when you see the lightning, you see these strong storm bolts of light coming down, these big bolts of lightning coming down. And I said, okay, 1, you got to remember our planet is charging up. 2, you got to remember we have a lot of plasmic energy in the atmosphere. And 3, sometimes that thunder that you're hearing, especially when the real clouds show up to get rid of the fake clouds, that's the battle going on. War of the clouds is happening. The real clouds are coming back, taking their rightful place, and telling the fake clouds, you ain't got nothing. We're going to show you how to be a real cloud, which you cannot be. So you have to go. And we're going to make you. All right, lovelies, be good to yourself. Enjoy your evening. I'm going to rest now. And I will see you tomorrow for day 9. Enjoy your day. Bye.